So, you want to be a clanner, or at least learn more about them? I think I can help you. Hello, my name is 317, and I will be the Palebird today. If you don't already know, DEGENESIS is a post-apocalyptic tabletop role-playing game. If you'd like to learn more about the world itself, I highly suggest you go over to the website, as there's just so much there that I myself cannot sufficiently simplify. In a world shattered by an apocalypse that has had centuries to redefine itself, humanity has survived dozens of generations of hardships, and it's not going to get any easier. In the world of DEGENESIS Rebirth, there are organizations and societal structures that have found themselves in positions of power and influence across various regions in the world. This video series will give a basic overview of the world through the eyes of the 13 cults, hopefully giving you a better understanding of a cult, maybe even a few ideas for a character or NPC of your own. Today is the Clanners. When I first started playing and GMing for DEGENESIS, I actually did okay explaining Clanners. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Sure, they're not all cannibals, sure, they're not all civilized. Some could even be both. I've explained them as people who, in their complexity, populate the wide world. Make sure to recognize one thing. There's no planet of hats. All the Romanos will not be backstabbing spymasters who speak Degeno-Italian. Not all the Stukovs will be complacent in the life that is being a protectorate citizen. Not every clan will have deep ties or connections to a cult, being their auxiliaries or servants to a capacity. Life is complex, and it's going to stay that way. Anywhere you go, you will find clanners. They are where the cults recruit from. They're those who make up 70, 80, 90% of the population of the world. They are your folk. A clan could be small or monstrous in size. They could have a huge history and a connection to a particular locale. They could all be a small nomadic group, or a family of 3 members that share a surname that they don't know the meaning of. We as clanners have been kings and councils and congregations. We've built cities and churches, cathedrals and castles. We come in so many shapes and sizes that within us there exists positively any potential. What is a cult but a clan that got too big for its britches? Everyone has to start somewhere. We're it. We crawled out of the caves in the ground. We fought against monsters before the doctors or the broken cross came. We traversed oceans in search of unruined land. We live next to the haunted jungle. We are man. Clanners litter the world like weeds. Grow strong, we are set aflame, poisoned, cut, and we still grow through the pavement in search of the sun. In Borka, clanners make up the citizens of the Protectorate, and the people of the eastern forests. In Poland, we are the hunters, the gatherers, and the citizens of Wrocław. In Hispania, we are the traitors, the rebels, and the bastards who sit on the sidelines. In Franca, we are the warriors, the fishermen, the whale hunters, and the swamp dwellers. In Balkan, we are the guardians of the mountain fortresses, saboteurs to invaders, commanders of chaos and the common people. In Pergar, we are the farmers, the flagellants, we are the alpine ranchers, and the shipbuilders. In Africa, we are the sailors, the tribesmen, the slavers, and the enslaved. My name is Legion, for we are so many. For every tribe or organization that excels at something, there's a clan elsewhere that did it first. Numerous, they can be stubborn or subservient. A clan of warriors or healers. Some are lawless and some are rigid in doctrine. There is a wide plane of possibilities when it comes to clanners, both described and unknown. It is hard to distill advice for every occupation. So whatever your craft is, be the best. That way you are indispensable to those who desire your presence. Respect your brothers and sisters, in name and in blood. Even if they move on to bigger things, don't let them forget that you're family. Family may be one of the few things that you have to combat the other powers in the world. Your clan's influence will spread with the correct networking and treaties. A clan may be tied together in ribbons of crimson viscera, or in a whirl of incense burned in the practice of a niche faith, or even as a guild of sorts. Common skills and the monopolization of make for wondrous successes. But all things come to an end. Your bloodline might become weakened. A matriarch died in battle, her experience is lost. Your clan grows complacent and soft in their position of power. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. Some clanners live in a state of constant perfection, either by necessity or by tradition. A clan like the Corredores, Resistance, or Voivodes are in a constant state of competition and stress and conflict. In a cult like the Stukovs or Steelmasters, their life is a differing kind of stress, not necessarily physical and life-threatening, but social, mental, and all important. The best will arise and become comfortable. Then there are cockroaches, phosphorites, corpse eaters. The best are the best for a reason, and if you don't become the best, you will be no longer. It is as possibly as dark as man can get, where the process of surviving is macrophagy. There's the hope that one day you will not need to resort to barbarity, but it is not today. Whatever it is, we know that clanners can become animals. Not just an individual going crazy, but an environment perpetuating it. Whatever the clanner may do once they're gone through their transition into adulthood, they start as a child of the village, being taught by their seniors and filling the roles that the clan needs. Maybe the child was born to be a soldier, maybe a metal worker, maybe a dung shoveler, but in any case that child belongs to the clan. If children are our future, then to invest in them is to prolong the clan. Don't become paranoid in thinking about the what if, but prepare nonetheless. If you do not, as a clanner, give enough incentive to maintain traditions, culture, or work, then the clan will dissolve. Fickle as it may be, everyone needs food and purpose. For clanners, there is usually a polarity. One who practices the clan's special capability, and then those who sell it. Those who police the rivers, and then the other half that sets the traps. Those who raise the cattle, and those who tan the leathers. Whatever we as a clan are, we are not alone. Our clan makeup may not be scout, hunter, gatherer. It might start as relay, resistor, battery, mouton, capricorn, falcon, aid, guru, brewer. Like ascetics and orgastics, like mediators and shutters, the hondo and the damu. There are dual roles, and the clans are full of them. Support your better half. Cooperation means success and a united front. Schisms, while natural, will have long-lasting consequences if not resolved. Pay attention. Clanners need to raise their young, recruit new allies and new blood, and recover those who are lost. Clanners are not all cannibals, or stick-and-stone Neanderthals, or even tied all that heavily into the underlying story of the world. In all their plurality, they cover the surface of the globe in filthy glory. In comparison to the other cults, we are much more organic. We're human. We'll have flaws just like anybody else. The individual's identity will affect our career and our clan's trajectory. Even the highest ranks will reflect one of the two sides. Whether they're the old woman of a seamstress clan, champion of tapestries in their own right, righteous or religious leaders, the head of a guild, the ultimate intermediary between the clan and the cult they are subservient to, the honored parent, or maybe even a supernatural pinnacle of the clanner's prowess. Within each and every one of us is the possibility for survival and stagnation, ingenuity and infamy, expertise and excellence, failure and affliction. When we look at the clanner rank tree, it's useful to reiterate that these aren't levels or goals that every player or NPC will be striving to achieve. Think of them as a totem pole of power. It will differ between each cult, but for the clanners, their tree is representative of the two main ways of being a clanner. What you have to do, who you have to answer to, what your responsibilities are. Most clanners will remain in the hunter-gatherer rank, rank 2, just living. Some earn the positions of authority or expertise, rank 3. Some even reach points of true leadership, rank 4 and 5, so on. It's a thin population trajectory for sure. Even if one reaches the Neuron of the Sanglier, or a Bretonnie whaler, that doesn't mean that you win. You may have to make huge decisions, huge responsibilities to ensure your gene moves into the future. Brothers and sisters will fall before you. Your distant family becomes your only one. Even if you try as hard as you can, the plan could fail. Your clan could be absorbed by another, or obliterated entirely. Your history, your language, your specialities, gone. Death and loss will follow you wherever you go. Vibzi, a young lad, grows up in the safe walls of Wrocław. His father serves the Drushiniks. Their jobs are simple. Bring the bundles of cloth from the hatcher to the weavers. Vibzi's father was stealing sheets. One of the officials took it to beating the young boy to find out where the missing bolts went. His father cried but didn't say a word. Neither did Vibzi. Bora, a pale criminal, stealing chickens. The option was to dig in the petro pits or serve the resistance. Anything is better than smelling like tar all day. A cadet and then a chasseur, 3 years of service fulfilled, and her contract was up. But she stayed, you know. Free franca, liberté, égalité, fraternité, and all that. Gold is useful. Lackawanna understood this, and while hunting hyenas is entertaining, the life of a Neo-Libyan is a little bit more glamorous. She was the guide to an excursion near Agadesh. A cartographer thought that they had found something very interesting on their ancient maps. A shallow venture into the Psychovore jungle shouldn't be too bad. Proper equipment, the maps of course, and the guide, Lackawanna. Too bad it was the cartographer's jealous sister who suggested Lackawanna scout for the exploration in the first place. Nothing extravagant, just make sure that the map carrier gets up to some fatal mischief. Fergev had been following this group of dumb scrappers for days. 2 of them had already succumbed, one to thirst and the other to poison. There's a dark-skinned one amongst them too. Strange. He'll follow them and see what they do. They shouldn't last a few more days. They're dropping like flies. Too bad. The Stukov nomad was hoping to see them suffer a little more. Fergev loves to play the long game. When judges captured Thorvald, it was easy. His guards were dead next to him and the painted man was sitting in a fetal position. His face was covered in burn scars and the remaining eye was grey and wandering. It was impossible to determine anything the clanner was saying. Suddenly, shortly after dark, he started cackling, and then shouting outside, "Herrs and Fresse, Herrs and Fresse." It was too late. Everything started burning. Some people become clanners because that is their home and they like it there. Many become clanners because it is the history that they have, and they're proud to continue on. Others are clanners just because they want to step onto something greater, maybe even joining a cult. While others more relegate themselves to survival in any way possible, any means necessary. Strength through numbers. Cults will take from you. They will enforce their laws on you, Helvetics, Chroniclers, Jehommedans, Anabaptists, Scourgers, and Neo-Libyans. All the other damned people on this earth will have you eating out of the palm of their hand before they flip the bill onto you and your children. Don't let anyone use you. They can show off pieces of paper, throw an indictment your way, tell you that your home is uninhabitable. They can exercise power over you. It makes sense. Freedom is the price to be paid for safety, security, stability. But all it takes is one small spark, and all those things they thought were powerful and important are ashes. After a long day working the mills, being soaked in pig shit, maybe tracking down your evening meal, it would be rare for any clanner not to finish their day with a spiced brandy, a bedmate, or even some of the local apocalyptic's stash. So, remember your roots, apply the paint, do what you're good at, travel far and wide to achieve your goals. Live life. Whether it's for a new campaign, or even a character, or just a thought experiment, I hope I've helped set a frame of mind establishing and then destroying what it means to be a clanner. I know this was a lot, so take your time, and if you want to read directly from the source, I highly suggest it. Primal Punk and then Catharsis. Look in the back section for the clanners. Not necessarily as far as From Hell, but take a look at the different things. It'll show you how many there are. If you're being really brave, read Jehemed's Trilogy, and Justitian. There are so many clanners in there. It's all free. But if you want to focus on the clanners right now, I have a couple suggestions down below, giving a wide variety of what they might look like. I can't stress how different each of these clans are. Societies in their own right. Laws, taboos, culture, language, literacy, technology, you name it. I've got a couple recommendations specifically. Newmancers. Yes, I am biased. And They Sow the Wind. They're on the website. I like them a lot. Like, seriously, clanners are so complex. Secondary video incoming. Keep in mind for clanners, but also for everyone. Vakatangyong yapu, vakapatunya tayaha. Te kiko reka reka waku horiri. Nya umu vakakia tatu kupu kite utu. E mahinga mahia tumataoenga. This has been the Palebird. I wish you all a frickin' excellent day. I'll see you later.